In the heart of the Himalayas, two titans pierce the heavens, Everest and K2. They are the twin giants of mountaineering, the ultimate prizes on our planet. But while they share the thin air of the death zone, they are worlds apart in spirit. One has become a symbol of commercial ambition, a challenge that can be bought. The other remains a fortress of nature, a place that demands a price paid not in money, but in spirit, and often in blood. This is the story of Everest's evil twin and the untold truth of K2, Mount Everest. At 8,148 meters, it is the highest point on Earth. Its name is synonymous with ultimate achievement. Each year, hundreds of climbers flock to its slopes, guided by experienced Sherpa teams along fixed ropes. The path, especially the South Col route, has become a well-trodden highway to the sky. It is a monumental challenge, yes, but a managed one. The success rate has soared, and while danger is ever present, the infrastructure of support has tamed the beast. The death rate on Everest hovers around 1%. It is a giant, but a giant in chains. Now, look east, to the remote Karakoram range. Here stands K2, shorter at 8,111 meters, yet infinitely more savage. Fewer than 500 people have ever stood on its summit. For every 4 climbers who reach the top, one will never return, a death rate of nearly 25%. This is not a statistic, it is a chilling testament. They call it the Savage Mountain, and for good reason. It doesn't just challenge climbers, it hunts them. The difference begins with the weather. On Everest, forecasts offer a window of opportunity. On K2, the weather is a malevolent, unpredictable force. Its unique position exposes it directly to the jet stream. Hurricane-force winds and blinding blizzards can materialize from a clear blue sky in minutes. The mountain creates its own storms, wrapping itself in a shroud of ice and fury. There are no safe havens, no moments of true respite. Every second spent on its slopes is a gamble against time and the elements. And then there is the climb itself. Everest has its yak route. K2 has none. There are no easy ways up. The most common path, the Abruzzi Spur, is a relentless, near-vertical ascent over rock and ice. It demands world-class technical skill from the very beginning. Climbers must navigate treacherous sections like the House Chimney and the Black Pyramid, sheer rock faces that would be daunting at sea level. But at over 8,000 meters, they are gateways to oblivion. But the most infamous feature is the bottleneck. This narrow couloir, perched precariously beneath a massive wall of unstable ice seracs, is the final barrier to the summit. It is a death trap, suspended 8,200 meters in the air. Climbers must move quickly, exposed and vulnerable, knowing that at any moment, tons of ice can break free and sweep them from the face of the mountain. It is a place where skill alone is not enough. Survival depends on sheer, dumb luck. This is exactly what happened in the 2008 K2 disaster. A single serac collapse in the bottleneck triggered a chain reaction of tragedy. Ropes were severed, stranding climbers in the death zone as darkness fell. Over a single horrific night, 11 climbers from multiple international expeditions perished. It remains one of the darkest days in mountaineering history, a brutal reminder that on K2 you are never in control. The mountain always has the final say. The list of those claimed by K2 reads like a hall of fame of mountaineering. Legends like Alan Rouse, who died of exposure after being trapped in a storm, and Wanda Rutkiewicz, the first woman to summit K2, who vanished while attempting a new route. These were not amateurs. They were the best of the best, climbers who had conquered giants across the globe, only to be consumed by the savage mountain. Their stories are woven into its icy legacy, whispers on the wind. Adding to the danger, the mountain's geometry makes rescue nearly impossible. Above 7,000 meters, the air is too thin for most helicopters to operate safely. If something goes wrong high on K2, you are on your own. Furthermore, the atmospheric pressure is significantly lower than on Everest at the same altitude. This means the available oxygen is even thinner, pushing the human body past its absolute limits. The margin for error is non-existent. One mistake, one moment of hesitation, and the mountain will claim you. So why? Why do they keep coming? Why do the world's most elite climbers still feel the pull of this lethal peak? Because K2 represents something Everest no longer can: the purest form of exploration. It is a test not just of physical endurance, but of psychological fortitude, of spirit. It is the final frontier of high-altitude mountaineering, a place where ambition meets the raw, untamable power of nature. For decades, one challenge remained untouchable: a winter ascent. In the coldest, darkest months, K2 is an icy hell, with temperatures dropping to -60 degrees and winds that can tear a tent to shreds. To even attempt it was considered suicide. Yet in January 2021, the impossible happened. A team of 10 Nepali climbers, led by the indomitable Nirmal Purja, stood together on the summit. In a powerful display of unity and strength, they sang their national anthem, their voices defiant against the roar of the winter wind. They did not conquer K2. No one ever does. Instead, they proved that even on the deadliest mountain on Earth, the human spirit can shine its brightest. They honored the mountain with their skill, their courage, and their respect. Everest has become a bucket list item. K2 remains a pilgrimage. It strips you down to your core, exposing every strength and every weakness. It is a place of profound fear, but also of profound beauty. Climbers who have been there speak of it not as an enemy to be defeated, but as a presence to be respected, a force to be witnessed. Everest tests your body. K2 tests your soul. It is a mirror that shows you who you truly are in the highest, most unforgiving cathedral on the planet. And for those who are called to its slopes, that revelation is worth any risk. Thank you for joining us on this journey to the top of the world. If you found this story compelling, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more tales from the edge of human endeavor. Stay curious and stay safe.